Welcome back. What have you been doing like all week? I feel like you've been busy. You haven't been responding to my text messages as fast as usual. You're acting like you're MIA. You're busy every day for the next 4 days.
Yeah, I got
I'm
things to do. I'm
confused.
adulting. Jesus. Can I adult in peace? Can I adult in peace, please?
I don't
You'll
understand.
understand soon enough. Got some things coming down the pipe. You know what I
What do you mean? You have secrets? Are you kidding?
mean?
Are you
I mean,
kidding? Are
dead
you kidding
serious.
me?
I
Or are you
mean, dead
being
eye.
serious?
I mean, it's not. I'm not keeping secrets. It's just I'm making moves. I'm trying to make some moves.
Oh, you're making moves.
Let me make moves in peace. Let me adult in peace. Jesus.
Well, when are we going to be caught up? Like, we might be wanting
You'll
to
you'll
know your
you'll
status.
you'll be caught up sooner than other folks.
Like, very soon. Like,
Soon enough. Let's get into them. What have you been doing?
I don't even have been doing anything. I've been going to work in the snow every damn day.
Yo, I woke up
Uh,
this morning to a text message, and I was like, it was in regard to the snow, and I was like, wait, what? It snowed last night? And then I
you had
looked
no
out the
idea.
window. I looked out the window, and it's a good amount of snow all over the cars. I'm like, oh my goodness.
But now it's gone because it's like 60 degrees again.
Yeah. New
Wow.
England is super weird. I hate it up here.
Super weird. Anyways, though, no, what I've been, over the weekend, I had a very chill weekend. I wasn't doing much. I
I don't even remember what I did.
relaxed. I don't really remember what I did either, which makes me think I did a lot of relaxing.
Those are always the best weekends.
Oh, I did go out with some friends for dinner one of the nights, but for the most part, I just relaxed. But one thing that did happen to me that is the reason why I wanted to talk about this subject today is that I had, around the holidays, you're seeing people you haven't seen in a while. You're emotional, which we talked about last week about whatever you're emotional about. And people start asking you questions that
They shouldn't be
maybe you are
asking
not
you.
equipped for. Yes.
Oh,
And
so
the reverse to that,
somebody was up in your business?
no, somebody wasn't up in my business. Every people are always up in my business. That's like a regular, normal thing. But what happened was like I had a very difficult conversation with one of my cousins who was just like confiding in me about something in their life. And, you know, it it was like just like a very heavy conversation to the point where it happened on Saturday and like the rest of my weekend and most of my week this week has just been consumed.
By that conversation?
And yes, not because I we argued or anything like that. She just divulged some information to me that I wasn't ready for.
So, is she older,
And
younger?
we're the same age. We're like basically it's like sisters. And it's like very personal, so I'm not going to go into detail. I just like it had me thinking like dang, like between what she's going through, between the stresses that I have, between seeing all these people around the holidays you haven't seen in a while and having all these difficult conversations, this is like very exhausting.
Nah, I feel you. Was it something like, I don't know, you don't get into it, like negative or
Yeah, it was just like something that she's going through that she hasn't shared that she's going through, and she shared it. And so now I feel like I have a responsibility that goes along with it because she shared it with me, which is fine because it's fine. I'm happy to help. It's just a lot. Like I'm tired.
well, you already know if you guys need some backup, if you need a gang, I got a plenty of gang. We
I
can
don't need a
make
gang.
we can make anything happen, you know what I mean?
It's not that kind of problem.
Okay. Okay, good.
I don't need a gang. Hold your horses. But the point is, it had me thinking about all the difficult conversations that we have to have all the time and just like conflict in general. Like, one thing that I'm really trying to avoid in my life in 2020 is conflict. Not that I have had a lot of conflict this year.
But sometimes conflict is good, and I would say avoiding it. I don't know if avoiding it is the right word, because avoiding it can make it worse at times, depending on the conflict.
I would not say that I avoid conflict. I don't really.
Well, you just said you were avoiding it.
I prefer not to have conflict in my life. I'm trying to go
Oh
for
yeah,
like
of
good
course, of
vibes.
course. No
But
negative energy.
exactly. But if it's like a serious situation that is like there has to be conflict to solve it, I'm not going to avoid it. But like I prefer not to even be near those types of situations.
Yeah, that's the issue with some people, especially as we get older. There's conversations that you have to have, or you're going to have
Right.
that you just have to get it over with. Like you're growing, you're an adult now. You got to put your pride aside and have those have those conversations. You can't just avoid everything and be
Well, you're saying that we just have to get over it but like,
not get over. I mean, get into it. Like whatever the conflict is, have the conversation and get past it.
don't you think that, well, like challenge number one is like, this could happen in like any space in our life, right? Like at work, in your relationship, at home, with your friends, like whatever. But like all those different areas, like I would deal with them all differently. I feel like
Oh yeah,
because,
well yeah, you have to because
but
I
sometimes I
mean,
forget that you have to. Sometimes the lines get blurred and things are said and whatever. And,
yeah.
you
'Cause I
know,
mean, you have like a different investment into all those different topics. Like
yes.
for work, you have a certain investment. For your family, you should have more of, I guess, I don't know if investment's the right word, but you should have, it should mean more to you. You get what I'm saying? Like if you have a conflict with somebody random on the street, you can handle that one way. You can't handle you can't handle a different conflict like you handle a random conflict in the street at work. You get what I'm saying? Like, so there are ways around it and ways about it. But how would you handle like a conflict at what, I guess, work or home or anything?
Well, I don't really have conflicts at work at this time. That doesn't mean that there are not coworkers that I purposely avoid because I know they're just trying to conflict with me. However, I
I do
I
that all the
just
time.
like I just like feel like if I have conflict at work, like I need a new job. That's just
No,
my
see,
opinion on it.
that's the wrong way to look at it.
No, but like if I'm having conflict at work all the time,
So hold on. Okay, so let's put an example out there. So is this with the same person or is this with a
no,
group
I
of
mean, I
people?
guess it could be with the same person. It could be with 10 different people. But to me, it's like, if it's with 10 different people, if I'm having conflict with 10 different people, like, I need to obviously check myself. Like, I mean,
Thank you. Yeah,
I
yeah. You
try
need
to
to look in
check,
the mirror.
I try to check myself before I have any sort of difficult conversation. Like, well, when I know I have to have a difficult conversation with somebody and I'm mentally prepping myself up for it, I just am like always trying to check myself to be like, did I like do everything out like the way I want to? Da, da, da. And like, am I in the wrong or not?
Yeah, you got to be ready to like also get the conflict from their point of view.
Right.
Do you ever do that, or
Yeah.
are you able
Well,
to do that? Some people aren't.
I never did that until,
You got older.
well, no, actually, literally until the other day. It was like this year
Oh my god!
because,
So it just happened.
well, remember when we interviewed Ashley and I was like, went to that training thing about searching inside yourself with my
Yeah,
job? At that training, one of the things that was part of it was like having difficult conversations and how you do have to like try to see it from the other person's perspective. And it literally wasn't until they said that I ever like consciously try to do that. So now I do try to do it, and it actually works really well for
so
me
have you
in
been in
like,
like more conflict since then for you to practice that?
yeah, but I think that it's hard to do it like in the heat of the moment.
Oh yeah, definitely, definitely.
Like
If it just pops up on you.
like if you're just having a regular conversation with someone, not a difficult conversation, but a regular conversation, and the conversation escalates into a conflict, like, and you're just in it because you just got there and you don't know
Yeah,
how you got
yeah,
there.
that makes sense. It will be difficult to see that. Yeah,
That has happened to me.
yeah,
Like that happens.
yeah. Once you go back and think about the whole conversation, you might start thinking of ways how they could start. I guess the person you were speaking to, you start thinking about how they could have that point of view or how they could be on that side of the conflict. But you have to go back and think of it.
Yeah.
But when you're in the moment, well, yeah, when you're in the moment and it just happens off rip, like, yeah, you're not going to be able to do that.
And then after I think about it, I'm like, and I like try to realize what their point of view was. I'm like, oh, that kind of makes sense. And I'm like, well, shit, I was wrong. But anyways, I feel like at work, of all the areas of my life where I have conflict, that's like the least.
Oh yeah, but then like even if you have like for some people who are listening, I feel like you have to be sensitive.
But I have a lot of difficult conversations at work.
Oh yeah, you have to.
Because to me, those are two different things. Like you probably have 20 different difficult conversations at work every single day.
I mean, a good amount.
But it's like, but that's not conflict to me. It's just like,
no, yeah.
I don't want to tell you, like, I don't know how to tell you that you didn't do this correctly, but I have to.
I don't know how to tell you that you're trash and you step it up, but I have to.
I don't know how to tell you to reread my email, but I have to somehow.
Yeah. Per my last email.
I want to hear about your conflict because you're always the one that's like, I don't have any beef. I
don't like if there's a conflict at work, I mean, I just don't pay any mind. Like there's been at my job, there's this person who's no longer there. She tried to start conflict with everybody. And even though she's not at the company anymore, she's still doing things like.
Oh, really? Wow.
I'm going to tell you what she did to this one person. I just found out on Monday. I was like, oh, she's wilding. Like she's like, we're still on her mind for some reason. But she would go different places, talk about everybody, do a bunch of the stupid stuff. Like
what?
Yeah, one thing I've noticed about like working in, I guess, the corporate world is that it's the same thing as high school, but you just get paid.
Literally.
It's the same thing as high school. You're just getting paid. Like people gossip, people do all this stupid stuff. It's ridiculous. It's
kind of crazy.
But yeah, like with her, I just avoided her at all. Like if somebody told me something she was saying, I was like, okay, that's cool. On to the next thing. Like I'm not going to allow that energy to affect me in any type of way. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah, I guess.
But also with work, you have to be sensitive because if you handle a conflict in a way that you think fits the bill or a way that you want to handle something, they could take that the wrong way and then go to HR or go to somewhere else. And at the end of it, you're the one who's looking crazy.
Oh, I could never work in HR. If anybody works in HR, can you please DM us and tell us if you can?
They probably have some crazy stories.
Confidentially tell us how many people complain at your job because I need to know.
Yeah, they probably have some crazy stories.
To people fighting with each other all day.
I mean, I think there's more to their job than that, but
of course there's more to their job than that. There's a lot more, but like that's like a very big part of it is like an open door.
Oh, yeah, open door policy.
And complain to me whenever you want. And people take you up on that. Like people really be in HR in tears. I've seen it.
Yeah, so did you say that's the hardest conflict for you? Or you said that's the lightest?
It's the least amount of conflict. It's the most. It's like the most amount of difficult conversations because it's just like, to me, like it's difficult because I don't really know everybody that like that, like I feel more comfortable having a difficult conversation with someone I'm close with because I might like have a better idea of how they're going to react or like whatever.
You can bring it to them gently. What they like.
Yeah, but like with my coworkers, I don't really know them like that, so it's like I have no idea how you're going to react to this conversation. So to me, it's like I have the most difficult conversations at work just because of the nature of work, and I don't really have conflict there. But it's like the opposite at home. I don't really have a lot of difficult conversations.
But you have conflict.
I don't know. I feel like I don't really have conflict. I mean, I've been in situations where there's conflict. Trust and believe. You were there too.
I wasn't there that night.
Not talking about that night. I'm just talking about the whole situation.
Oh, okay.
The point is, I've experienced conflict. So
everybody, if you're an adult, you've experienced some conflict in your life.
No, but I'm talking about like in your current relationships. Like me and Terrence don't really fight like that. And it's mostly me coming home grumpy, trying to pick a fight. And then Terrence is like, let me know when this is.
Yo, I feel like I do the same thing. I'm like, I'm not finna argue with you. Like, I just want to talk. I just want to talk to you.
I don't know, because you're an instigator, so I don't know how much I believe that. You sometimes you are very stubborn. Where's Emily? Somebody get Emily a mic.
I used to be.
You're stubborn.
I'm not stubborn anymore.
Oh, you must be losing all of it with old age.
I'm a changed man.
You're softening up.
I don't. What do I have to be stubborn about? Hey, if you believe something,
I don't know. That's what I was asking myself when you used to be
Like, what
stubborn.
was, give me an example of what I was stubborn over. 'Cause I don't know.
You just love to debate. This
Hey,
is why
I like
this
that.
is why
No,
asked you to start a
it's not about
podcast.
debating. It's about having a conversation. I want to see where you're coming from. So I want to talk it out. Some people don't like talking it out and just get mad about it. And I think that's an issue.
Yeah, but your mind can never be changed.
You don't have to change my mind. I just want to see where you're coming from. You cannot change my mind, but I can understand where you're coming from. Does that make sense?
Yeah, I am not saying you don't understand where I'm
I
coming
just want
from.
to
I'm
understand
saying
what like your point of
your
view.
mind can never
My
change.
mind can
I could
change.
I
My
don't
mind can
know.
change. My mind
I
can
don't
change.
know.
Listeners, do not listen to her. She's making this up. She's trying to make me seem like a bad person.
I'm not trying to make you seem like a bad person. I'm just saying.
So how do you feel about, or I don't know if you ever had like a conversation or a conflict with a person who never wanted to get past the conflict, or they were avoiding it, didn't want to talk about things. Have you ever had anything like that, or how do you feel about people who do that? I don't think that's healthy.
Well, it depends. I like to say like I like to pick my battles. You know, I just don't have time to be addressing every little thing. So to me, it's like I'm going to pick my battles. If it's something that I'm thinking about every single day and the person's avoiding me, like, yeah, that's going to probably annoy me. But if it's just like we need a little space from each other, we don't really need to talk it out, we just need some time apart, I can let that go. I'm just like, you got to pick your battles. What's like the most important thing and is like whatever you're upset about that.
So what if it's a
serious.
battle that you like you have to fight the battle, but that person isn't wanting to. They're just acting like nothing happened. Like there's an elephant in the room and they're not addressing it.
I know that you're asking me this question purposely.
I'm not asking you personally. What do you mean? This is literally a thought that I had. I wanted to see your opinion on it. I don't even know what you're talking about. Look at you overthinking things. Jesus.
I just think that sometimes, okay, I don't think it's healthy. Do I think it's healthy to avoid situations? No. However, sometimes situations are so bald, like it's like a snowball of things that you've avoided one after another, after another, after another, after another, to the point where you're just like, we're just going to let all this go and totally separate yourselves. Like, I feel like there's a point in a relationship where if there's conflict and avoidance and it's a pattern like that, maybe it's just not a relationship that you need.
That's true. It's not feeding you positively.
Yeah, like every time we have a conflict, now I'm the avoider or you're the avoider, and it's just like it's too much. It's like it's fine when I see you, I'll see you, and it's fine, but it's not that deep.
Oh, so yeah, so once you see each other like in person, it's just like, oh, hey,
Fine.
blah, 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 everything's cool. But then when you guys both leave, it's in the back of your minds like there's a conflict here. That just sounds fake to me. I don't know. That sounds fake to me. I'd rather, especially like, so say if it's a close friend, you should be like, if it's your friend, you should be able to have a conversation, a difficult conversation. You should be able to have a conflict and then get past that and still be friends after that. Unless it's like something crazy. Like disrespectful, like, you know what I mean?
What if you're over it? Like, what if you're really over it? What if it's not that important to you? Like, to the point where, I mean, maybe you're just, I don't know, numb to it, but what if you're really over it?
You could say you're really over it. This is just my opinion. That person can say they're over it, but it's eventually going to come back up again and they're not going to be over it. It's still going to be it's still going to be like in their aura or in their system. You know what I mean?
Yes, I know what you mean.
Not until you squash it and get it over with. You know what I mean? Like, you got to talk it out.
I feel like that's just putting more energy into something. If it's like whatever.
I mean, if it's a close relationship, you should put more energy into it. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah, I guess.
Like if it's a friend or a loved one and you value that relationship, you should be able to put more energy into that to better the relationship and make it healthier. Now, if it's just like a coworker or an acquaintance or some type of associate, like, yeah, then who cares?
But
if it's a valuable relationship,
what if you're indifferent about the relationship?
So like one person thinks they're a friend and the other one's like, oh, this is associate. Is that what you mean? Or are you saying that you don't care, like, you don't care about the relationship?
I'm just saying, like, what if one of the people in the relationship is indifferent about the other person? Yeah, they're just like, you're saying if it's a valued relationship, you should really squash it.
Oh, so it's not valued. Oh yeah, so if it's not valued on both sides, if you guys don't have the same energy in the relationship, then no. it's fine. I think you can avoid it or just not even worry about it at that point. Because why would you put your energy in something that you're not like valuing that much? You get what I'm saying?
I guess.
That's my opinion on it. I don't know.
I don't know. You sound pretty. It sounds pretty logical. I'm actually afraid for the first time you're sounding more logical than me.
I sound logical, or I sound more logical than you on every single episode. On every single episode, I come with points and facts.
Of course
and
you
you'd be
do.
like,
I'm teasing you.
I'll be asking you something. You'd be like, huh? I would never forget the what was it, the children episode where we were talking about a white girl raising a black kid and just going through different neighborhoods trying to raise her kid. That's a classic. I would never forget that conversation.
I forgot about it until you just brought it back.
I forgot what episode. I forgot what episode number that was, but if you guys haven't listened to the earlier episodes, go back and listen to that one.
What was that one on? Because it wasn't the parents one.
It was like the first or second one.
You would think we had hundreds of episodes. We can't remember. We can't remember what number it's.
I don't know. We're like 14, 15. Not like we're on like episode 200.
That is really comical. Oh, good one. Anyways, we got sidetracked.
I digress.
Honestly, I think I am clearly maybe someone who's more of an avoider. I feel like that has to do with my astrological sign.
What's your sign?
I'm gonna look something up real quick.
What's your sign?
What's your sign? Oh no, your birthday's in June. Are you a Gemini?
I'm a Gemini, yes. Everybody talks about us. I don't know why.
It's all coming together.
Are you like big into that?
I only recently started learning more about it and reading and getting more into it like the past maybe like 2 years. I never thought it was like complete horseshit. I always thought it was cool and I wanted to like learn more about it. I just never did until finally I like started reading and stuff, and yeah, I kind of like it now.
I've always been intrigued as in like why people are into that so much. But it is kind of interesting because I always thought like, yeah, right, whatever that is. But my wife, she was actually reading something, I think it was like a week ago, and she was like reading what my sign was, and there was like a lot of points I was like, huh? Yeah, that's
that
true.
Sounded smack like you.
That's true. There was like one thing I was like, nah, that's not me. Oh, that's true.
And that's like at what I found. The more that I learn about it and like read and like do all this stuff and like follow my sign and everything, it's pretty accurate. But I am, I am an Aquarius, but I'm on the last day. So it's like a whole nother set of traits for people who are like on the cusp of two different signs.
That's strange. So you're like a hybrid.
But I'm more of an Aquarius. However, okay, this is going to be funny. I found this article on Elite Daily about how to resolve conflict with the signs, and you can tell me if this sounds accurate, okay? About me.
I was about to say, is it about me? Okay, I got you.
Well, Aquarius is an air sign who needs communication. They're also known for disappearing when things get rough, no matter whose fault it is. And Aquarius is simply not in the mood to get their hands dirty in a fight because... Okay. Because of how rigid and flighty they may be, it's best to make your desire to resolve the situation known and then let them come to you when they're ready. If they care enough, and Aquarius definitely will. Keywords, if they care enough. Do we feel like that was accurate?
I think that was accurate. It brings me to a certain point back at Stonehell in the courts with a certain individual.
Stop.
You know what I'm talking about.
Okay. Wow, Jared. Okay. Gemini. They communicate clearly and respectfully. If you think you're going to solve a conflict with a Gemini by ignoring them, you must be dreaming. The air sign is all about communication, and if you're not willing to be honest and have a crucial conversation, a Gemini will move on with their life without you. They're not known for holding on to grudges, so if you can get past your pride and talk it through respectfully, it will all work out.
Yeah, those are facts.
That was kind of crazy. I literally, just for the record, just Googled that on my phone right now.
Those are facts. I don't know where you got that from, but
it was on Elite Daily. I'll post it on the website so y'all can see your other signs. And how
does it match up against everyone, or you could match it yourself?
It's just an article that has a paragraph on each side.
Wow.
Emily's an Aquarius, isn't she?
Yeah.
Does that sound like her too?
Yeah, because she thinks she could just like be quiet and avoid something. And then I would be like,
and
okay.
then you're just like, hello.
Yeah, she doesn't want to like talk to me or converse or like figure out the problem. I'd be like, okay, I just won't talk to you then. And then
I cannot.
And then I won't talk to her for longer than she won't talk to me.
Hilarious.
It's the Gemini, probably.
Oh yeah, wow, this is really accurate for Terrence too. I'm gonna put this on the website.
What's Terrence?
This is pretty funny. He's a Leo, obviously. You couldn't tell. Yo, let me tell you what happened to me at the Zelda's game. Talk about conflict.
Wait, which one? The one that we were just at?
Yes.
So we both were at the game. We didn't know each other were going to be there. And I just see it. I see some social media and I'm like, wait, are you at the game?
Yeah.
I'm like, we're at the game. Okay, but anyway, finish your story.
This lady was sitting next to me, and I was at the game with Terrence, my mom, and my brother. And it was like this white lady, and she was with her somebody, her significant other.
Her somebody.
And she was like pretty drunk, I think. I'm not sure. But she wasn't normal. Like, she didn't seem normal.
To your right or to your left or behind
you? She was
you?
to my... Okay, so I was sitting, and then to my right was Terrence, and then to his right, this is where she was sitting. So it's like a basketball game, right? So Terrence is like, we're all screaming, we're all yelling, we're all like swearing at the refs, like whatever. So then like he gets up to go to the bathroom, so he has to like ask her to get up. So he's like, excuse me, and he steps by to go to the bathroom. And then this woman leans over to me and like she's like telling me to come here because she wants to tell me something. And she's like, is that your boyfriend? And I'm like, actually, I was like, yeah, well, actually, it's my fiance.
Get it right. Hey.
And she goes, I literally can't make this shit up. She goes, oh, you can do better.
What?
I swear on everything I love. And I literally looked at her. I wish you guys could see my face right now because I was literally like, that seems very rude considering you don't know me and I certainly don't know you.
That's what you said to her?
Yes. And I was like, I don't understand who you are. Like, why are you even talking to me right now?
See, so you handle that, in my opinion, the right way.
And she was like, yeah, and then she like didn't know, like, I guess she didn't expect me to, I don't know how she thought I was going to react, but she was like, got so scared. And she was like, you're right. Like, that was so mean. I shouldn't have said that. I really don't know you. And I'm like, and that's why this conversation is over. And I walked by her and I go up the steps because it was like the end of the quarter. He just went up a minute early because the bathroom lines get long. So it was the end of the quarter and I was going up to meet my cousin for a drink at the bar. And I ran up there and Terrence was waiting outside the bathroom. I was like, yo, you should have heard what this lady said to me. And I told him and he was like, what the fuck? He was like, I have not said a word to this woman. I'm like, yo, she's crazy. And then when we got back to our seat, we were like, oh, we didn't even say, excuse me. I like stomped on her foot. And then she was like, so scared. They literally left like as soon as we got back to our seats. She was so
where's your mom at when this happened?
She was next to me too. She was up to the left of me. So she saw me lean over and say something to her. And then she saw my face and she heard me raise my voice, but it was the end of the quarter. So everybody was cheering.
Loud. Yeah.
Yes, you couldn't really hear what I was saying. And so then when we got up the steps, she was like, wait, what did that lady say? What did that lady say? And I told them all at the same time. And everybody was like, well, I don't understand. Like, and then I really thought to myself, like, people will really say anything they fucking want to anybody, anywhere. They don't care.
That's crazy. That's wild.
Isn't that insane?
Why would she? So she asked you that was your boyfriend. You said no.
And like asked me excited. Like I thought she was going to be like, oh, he's cute. Like I thought she was going to be like hyping me the fuck up.
Why would she, after you told her that was your fiance, why would she still say that? The audacity.
I literally wanted to trip her on her way out the door. I was like, I really should trip her.
Yo, a lot of people are brave out here nowadays.
Brave. I was shook, Jared.
But no, back to your point. Like people will say anything to you nowadays.
They don't care.
People will say anything and they'll be rude and all types of things. I can't believe that happened.
I'm worked up again. I was really worked up after that. I had to have a whole nother drink. We took a shot.
Wait, what part of the game was that?
It was going into halftime.
Oh wow. So then she stayed there for the rest of the game and then bounced.
No, we went upstairs to go get a drink with my cousin, and we were because we were talking and drinking and like chilling or whatever. I hadn't seen him in a while. The third quarter started before we got back to our seats. Like we got back to our seats, and it was like 8 minutes left in the third quarter, and that so they were watching the third quarter while we weren't there. And then when we finally got back, they got up in that.
I can't believe she said something like that. That is
The
wild.
audacity.
Hold on. So, okay. So, in regards to her saying that, would you say something like that to a friend of yours who's dating somebody who you don't agree with?
Yo, this is definitely like top 5 most difficult conflict / conversations that you have to have with a friend. Is like a friend whose significant other you hate.
So, would you just keep that to yourself, or you would let it be known?
I think I would let it be known in the beginning and express my feelings in the beginning, and then, at some point it's not your fucking life and you have to just stay in your lane. Like
It's facts. Yeah.
if you're giving the person advice and they're not taking it or they're making their own decisions the way they want to, like what can you really do? You just
Yeah.
have to like
If you ask me for your advice and I give you my advice and then you don't do it and you end up getting hurt by it, don't ask me for my advice again on that same topic or individual, because I'm not going to give it.
Yeah, yeah. Well, yeah, that's a hard thing. It's like if you do give your advice and they don't take it and then they come back, do you just continue to support the cycle and keep giving the advice, or do you?
You just remove yourself from it.
No, that's not always. I don't know.
It's like when it comes to that person, I don't want to hear it because I already told you what I think you should do and you didn't do it.
Yeah, but then
Now you're stuck on this.
But you know what I always think about? Like, what if I push this person away and then whatever they're dealing with gets deeper and deeper, and then they can't like ever get out? Like, what if you know what I mean? Like, you don't want to, like, I'm always afraid, like, if I push somebody away because of who they're with and don't just like support them, like, eventually, hopefully, if you know them the way that you think you know them, they're going to come around and like realize. But if you push them away that whole time, like when they finally do come around and realize, they might be like embarrassed or like ashamed or like not.
That's true. I didn't think about it that far. But I mean, what I was saying was just in regards to they asked me for my advice. If they never asked me for my advice and I just told them, hey, I don't like your person, then I'm still going to be around them, chilling with them.
Yeah. You just like tolerate it.
Yeah, I'll just tolerate it. But
because they're your friend.
Situation. Yeah, exactly. And that's their life. Like you said, you stay in your lane. As long as they're not doing anything that's going to like physically hurt you or anything like that, then there's not much I can do. You already made your decision.
Right. And people are adults out here. Like, hello.
Exactly. You love who you love, right? That's what they say. So what would you do if, I guess, you got information about your friend's partner that wasn't good information?
Oh, Lord.
Are you staying in your lane or are you sharing that information?
I really hope I'm not in that type of situation. I've actually been on the receiving end of that type of situation, but I haven't been on the end of I haven't been on the side of the person who knows something about their friend.
Okay, so being on the receiving end of it, did you take that information negatively from your friend or?
What you have to remember is that in my situation, back in my young days, I just want to clarify, I received this information more than one time. So, the first time your friend brings it to you, you're like, you're crazy. You don't know what you're talking about. And then obviously they're not crazy. Then you're like, second time, you're just like, ugh, you're probably right, but I'll handle it. I didn't really get mad at my friends for telling me. I directed my anger at the perpetrator.
You're just mad at the situation.
Yeah. However, like it wasn't until at retrospect that I realized that my friend, I was like, oh, they were all just trying to help me. But it wasn't until like later.
Hindsight's 20/20.
Precisely.
Okay, so say if you were the friend in the situation, would you say something or would you keep it to yourself?
I don't know.
How do you not know?
I guess I would tell them.
You would have to tell them. What do you mean?
Guess I would.
You would have to. What type of friend would you be to not tell your friend? So say if you're in the club and you see your friend's guy across the way just all over some other chick, you're not going to say anything?
Oh, I'm just going to... I'll throw
You're going to close your eyes and turn your back?
I mean, like, I would like to.
Oh, my goodness.
But I'm not going to. I'm just saying it's uncomfortable, and I don't want to.
If you call yourself a friend and you get information, or if you literally find the information with your own two eyes or see it with your own two eyes, it's your responsibility to let your other friend know. If that's your friend, if that's your homie, if that's your partner, if that's your homegirl, you have to let them know.
I know. I just hope I'm never in that situation because I'll throw up.
I was in this situation.
I was going to ask you if you were because I think I remember that you were.
Wait, what are you talking about?
Well, I'm trying to ask, is it a situation that I would know about or no?
No, I don't think you knew about this situation.
Oh, okay.
This is this might be a few years ago. A friend. So basically, there was some false information about me that was relayed to her friend. So her friend actually reached out to me first and was like, "Hey,
whoa! This was about you?
Yeah, it was about me."
Oh, I thought you were saying you did this for a friend.
Oh no, I've never done it for a friend, but I would do it for.
Oh, okay. Resume the story, please.
Gotcha. Now you're intrigued?
Yes.
Gotcha.
Go on.
So her friend got some false information about me. False information.
From whom?
From, it was like he say, she say. It's like from another friend, from a sister of another friend. It was like, it was ridiculous. I was like,
ridiculous.
I was like, wait, you actually believe that? Like after like listening to it all, I'm like, wait, what? But anyway, so she got this information. Her close friend got this information. Before she said anything, she reached out to me and was like, blah, blah, blah. When am I going to see you next? Like, we need to talk. She didn't let me know what it was about. She was like, we just need to talk. I'm like, okay, I'll see you when I see you. I didn't pay any mind. So Emily actually saw her friend before I saw her friend. So being the friend that she is, she was like, I can't hide this from her, like be face to face with her and not have this conversation with her. So they had the conversation.
Yo, what?
So they had the conversation before I had the conversation with her. So then she comes to me like, what is this? Blah, 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 blah. And I'm like, huh? Long story short, we figured out that it was all false and it was the wrong person. And I'm like, what? So then
they mixed you up with another black dude, huh?
Yeah. So then she tells me that she had, like, her friend had this information and that she actually was trying to talk to me first to like figure out the story to see if it was even valuable information to bring to her. And I was like, me being in the situation, me looking back, and I'm like, yo, that's a real person right there, because she's going to come to me, not verify it, but question it.
Yeah, because she knows you, and she is like, she obviously had a feeling that was out of your character, which I feel like that is a good strategy. I would do that if I like you. Like, if I feel like I know your character and I believe in your character and I like you, I might take that route. But if I don't, really fuck with you like that, I'm skipping you, bro.
It's just going straight to her.
Yeah, I'm skipping you. Like,
no, those are facts.
I would do that for you.
Those are facts, though.
I'm just saying.
No, those are facts.
That's kind of crazy.
If you don't F with the significant other.
What was that, like 2016?
What is it right now? 2019? It might have been 2016, 2017. It was crazy though. I was like, what? I was blindsided, but then I was thinking about it. I was like, yo.
I was blindsided. I was
like, yo, she did hit me up. I remember exactly where I was that night, because she was like, hey, like, I want to talk to you about something. And I thought it was just going to be like something random. I was like, okay, yeah, I'll see you when I see you. I didn't make it like a priority to like go out of my way to go see her. So then like a month or so goes by, and then she finally sees Emily, and she's like, well, I can't continue to hold this information, and I can't be face to face with you and not at least let you know. And I was like, yo, she's a real one. She's a real one for sure.
I feel like, also, disclaimer, we are not the conflict resolution experts of the world. We're just out here trying to live our best lives and make it through these difficult conversations. So
yeah, it's an interesting topic because
it's interesting, and I want to hear how other people deal with their shit too.
Because everybody throughout their life is going to go through a difficult conversation or a difficult topic with somebody else, and they're going to have some conflict.
And I know some people had some difficult conversations over Thanksgiving. That's the main holiday for difficult conversations. When you see everybody.
And once people get the liquor flowing too,
ridiculous.
The real feelings start coming out.
Crazy. I do feel this is one of those ones where I feel better after, like the therapy.
You feel like you found a resolution to your conflicts in life, even though you don't have any?
Well, what I did learn was that you and I have very opposite opinions on addressing conflict, so you might be a good person to bounce perspective off of when I really need to bring myself back down to earth.
Yo, I'm going to be real with you, whether you like it or not, so come to me and let me know, because I'm going to be real with you. If you're in the wrong and I think you're in the wrong, I'm going to let you know. if the whatever person you're having a conflict with is in the wrong, I'm gonna let you know if I think that. I'm gonna keep it real with you though. I'm gonna keep it G real with you.
Okay.
Here's a famous saying that I love. Keep it real with me. That's all I ask of you.
Okay, and with that,
Actually, that's gonna be the title of the podcast. That's the title of this episode. Keep it real with me. That's all I ask of you.
that's the title. You're announcing it.
I'm announcing that's the title.
Oh my gosh. Well, can you please keep it real with us and tell us who the millennial making move is?
Ooh, I like that segue. I see what you did there. So this week, our millennial making move is Omar Rodriguez. He started a brand. It's called Don Coquito Boston. And what he's actually doing, he's actually making and selling his own coquito. I don't know if anybody listening actually knows what that is. Do you know what that is?
No, please educate us.
Wow. So coquito, it's a traditional alcoholic holiday drink. It's usually drank around Christmas. It originated in Puerto Rico. It's actually pretty good. I think they call it like the Puerto Rican eggnog.
Yum.
Yeah, so he actually started making it and selling it during the holiday season of 2018. He started with just like local friends and family. He saw that the demand for it was actually pretty high, so he actually expanded and started promoting on social media. This holiday season alone in 2019, he's already sold over 100 bottles of Coquito, and he's still going. You guys definitely should check it out. I actually went and bought a bottle last year. This is a funny story, actually. You were at this party. You remember this party?
What?
Yeah. So you know the parties that's coming up.
Yeah.
It was the same one last year. You know what I'm talking about?
Yes.
But anyway, so I had bought a bottle from him, and I never had Coquito before, so I was excited to try it. So I bought a bottle and I brought it to this party, and I didn't even end up drinking it, and I totally forgot about it and left it.
Yeah, we didn't have any.
Yeah, you guys didn't drink at the party?
I don't remember it.
Gotcha. So I was at a friend's house like a couple weeks ago, and I had a sip of it, and I was like, "Yo, this is amazing." So then I actually went and bought 3 bottles, and I can't wait to drink
so we're
it.
about to be lit this weekend.
Yeah, I can't wait to drink it because it's extremely, extremely good.
Dope. So right now he has 3 flavors that he's selling: traditional, pistachio, and dulce de leche. Let me tell you something. Did you get a pistachio flavor? Because pistachio is my
I got
jam.
all 3. I got traditional,
great.
pistachio, and
Good. He has expanded his locations from the Boston area also to Hartford, Connecticut, the Bronx, and Yonkers, New York. It says here the last day to place an order in time for the holidays is the 19th of December. So make sure you check them out and get an order in for the holiday season because they're delicious. Jared tells us I'll also be trying it and I'm sure it'll be delicious. Follow him on Instagram at Omar F. Rodriguez, OmarFRodriguez. If you'd like to place an order, head to Instagram and also follow the liquor brand, which is Don Coquito Boston at DonCoquito Boston. And if you're in the Philly area, he also has a branch out there as well. So this seems like a pretty easy product to get a hold of. Go out and support him. It's going to be delicious. It'll make your holidays brighter. And I can't wait to try it myself.
Yeah, it tastes really, really good.
We'll put all his information in the show notes for today. We have...
Let him know.
Oh my gosh. So our next episode will drop on December 30th. This means that the week of Christmas, we will not be dropping an episode because it's Christmas and that's what it is. So
we don't got time for all that.
But we will drop an episode right before New Year's Eve. And we're going to actually have a very big announcement in that episode.
Yeah, we got some news coming for you all. The New Year's Eve edition of Done with Adulting. So make sure you tune in.
Yes. So, also we'll announce it on Instagram. So if you don't follow us already, follow us at Done with Adulting Pod and the Twitter. Jared, we got to get our Twitter followers up.
Yes. Twitter is at Done WTH Adulting. Hit us with a retweet or a like or shoot us a tweet or something.
Yeah, something. Anything.
Hashtag, when you're tweeting on Twitter, hashtag Done with Adulting. We'll give it a retweet.
Yes. And if you like this episode, please give us a 5-star rating, leave a comment, leave a review, head over to Instagram, let us know your thoughts. We're going to be posting some pretty funny questions on there about this episode. So we want to hear what you guys are talking about.
Yes. If you don't like it, let's have that tough, difficult conversation.
Somebody have a tough conversation with us about the fact that you don't like this episode, if that's the case.
Or the podcast in general. Let us know. We only can improve with criticism, harsh criticism.
I don't know. It doesn't have to be harsh. It can be nice.
That's true.
Oh my gosh. So anyways, you guys have a happy holiday. We've been talking about Christmas a lot, but obviously there are other holidays out there. So have a happy holiday. And we're going to talk to you all for one more time in 2019.
Bye.